Hey cousins, welcome back to another video. And in this video, we're doing a recap of The Chi, Season 6, Episode 11, Saints and Sinners. So this episode starts off with Jake, Bakari, and Papa all in church. We find out that Kenya's father is the pastor. They're listening to him preach. And then the collection plate just keeps coming around. So Jake is like, I'm not giving him no more money. But y'all want to know what he is giving the first lady. So when the service was over, Kenya wanted for her dad to meet her friends, Jake, Bakari, and Papa. So she introduced them. They shaking hands or whatever. And over comes the first lady. So when she comes over, Kenya walks away. So it's given Kenya don't like her. Okay, cool. So then Jake is looking the first lady up and down like she's something to eat in front of her husband. So she gives him this look talking about, I like your hair. So we already know what she's doing. But when the pastor introduced his wife, it sounded like he really did say, this is Tatiana. I promise y'all. Rewind it back. So as Kenya walks off, she starts walking up the aisle and here comes Zay. Why is he in the church house? What do you need? What do you need, devil? Anyway, he wants to take her out. And she's like, she'll think about it. For what? For what? The answer would have been, hell no, right in the church house. So as Kenya and Zay walk past, Papa, Bakari, and Jake, they're walking up. So they're looking like, what the hell is she doing with him? Hopefully, Papa can slide back in somehow, some way, because her messing with Zay, that's not a good look. She could be in some serious trouble. So then we see Keisha, she's cooking for her man, dancing, having her little time to herself. So she takes his breakfast upstairs. He's happy. He's like, yeah, because I put it down last night. Y'all know how men do. Run their mouth. Like, shut up. Anyway, so she's like, did you talk to Alicia? And it says, no, not yet. So Keisha's like, you better hurry up and do it soon. He's like, can I just chill with you without thinking about that? And it's like every time he thinks that, they're going to be talking about something else, Keisha gets right on the subject of Duda and Alicia. So his phone goes off. What does Keisha say? Is that Duda? Like, come on. I understand Keisha is scared, and Emmett is too, but she needs to chill with that, because that irritates me, and I'm not even Emmett. So Emmett takes this deep breath before reading the message, and then he sees that it's his dad, and he just blows all this extraness out. Oh, no, we're just going to go, and we're going to go laser tagging. Like, why is it ever that serious? Y'all got to chill with this dramatic stuff. So Emma starts kissing on Keisha's back, her arms, and she's like, look, you better eat them eggs before they get cold. So he tells her, I want to eat you first. Okay, say less. So Tiff is helping Rob with his physical therapy, and in comes Alicia talk about what you doing to my son. So she's like, I'm basically doing what the doctor told me to do. Anyway, it's a knock at the door. That knock was Rob's dad, who is Victor's lawyer. So he comes in talking about he heard what happened. He's there to check on his son. We all know that is a lie, but whatever. So Papa, Jake, and Bakari are on their way home from church, and Papa asks them how did they feel about the pastor. Jake talks about he got good taste in cars and women. Papa's like, look, I'm talking about the service. I'm not talking about him as a person. Anyway, we do learn that the first lady starts following Jake on Instagram. So he all smiles. So while Rob is upstairs giving Tiffany the 411 about his dad, Alicia and his dad is downstairs at the table. This is when she learns that he's there because he's Victor's lawyer. Victor is being charged for her brother's death. So they're talking and she gets up in his face like, Duda killed my brother. He's like, I think you're right. So he grabs her chin as if he was getting ready to kiss her and tells her, you should go get some rest. You look tired. I said, Leon still got it. Leon still that man. So Gemma invites Marcus and Sierra over for dinner. Y'all know she got her new spot. So they come in, they looking around. They like, yeah, you did well for yourself. He's proud of her. She even had a private chef. So yeah, that really made them feel good. But he does want to know where's Jake. And so Gemma tells him that Jake had overbooked, so he wasn't coming. So now we see Emmett and Darnell. They're walking into the laser tagging place. And in comes this guy. He's running. And he's like, what's up, bro? Touching Emmett. Emmett's like, who the F are you? Y'all eyes scream. Because it was just so funny how he said it. Darnell so casually says, that's your brother. Like, didn't introduce them, nothing. Didn't tell them, hey, your brother's coming. Keep in mind, Emmett invited Darnell out. So it's like, how you just going to bring somebody else without letting them know? And then, of course, he's not paying for it. Emmett's paying for it. So Darnell is out of line. So Emmett is like, I don't know him. He's like, I know. That's why I invited him. So they're talking or whatever. And Damien walks over. He's like, how old are you? He's like, y'all the same age. What? So the game finally begins. And Emmett is just being so mean to this boy for no reason. So once the game was over, the brother was kind of happy. He was enjoying himself. So he's like, y'all want to go again? So Emmett is like, no, our reservations is over. I'm going to head out. So Emmett leaves. Like, Emmett, what is the deal? Let us know. And not to mention, he just kept stretching his half-brother stuff. I was like, what is going on? Gemma, Sierra, and Marcus, they're sitting down having dinner when you hear a knock at the door. Gemma goes to the door, and it's Brittany. So she's like, could you come back? My dad is here. And Brittany is like, you asked me to bring you some marijuana. What are you talking about? So keep in mind, Gemma got the door cracked. Marcus comes to the door and opens the door all the way. So Tierra and Marcus are standing at the door now. They want to know who Brittany is. So he's asking, is Brittany her marijuana dealer? So Brittany is like, no. So Gemma says, no, this is my artist. And Brittany lets him know, I'm the reason why your daughter got this apartment. Don't you play with me, sir. Anyway, Tierra says, Brittany, is still some food left over. So Gemma is kind of like, I don't want her in here. But Brittany is like, yeah, I'm hungry. I'm coming on in. So Brittany wants to know, did Gemma cook everything? Marcus is like, she can't cook. She's like, Daddy, like, don't tell all my business. Anyway, so Brittany was like, I'll teach you a thing or two. Gemma is like, you know how to cook? She said, yeah, I used to cook for me and Bakari back in the day. So then we see Pastor Ezekiel go over to Pastor Stanley Jackson's church, knowing them folks don't mess with him like that. Go home. Go home. Sister Jackson basically told him everything about himself in a nice way. Told him that he's stealing from his church. He wasn't welcome there. Her husband didn't like him. She don't like him either. And she don't want a son by him. That's what it sounds like. But then he lets her know that her son likes his ministry. And she said that's because Japheth's daughter lured him there. Then he tried to give this lady a care package. She wanted to tell him to stick that care package up his you-know-what. But then Papa walks up. Of course, Papa was happy to see him. But he did buy Papa a mixer for his podcast. Papa was very thankful, but he does tell Papa, you need top-of-the-line equipment if you're going to be spreading a good word. So Papa Mom walks off. So Pastor Ezekiel leaves, but the way he was looking at the church is giving me that he wants that church. My thing with Papa is, if your dad did not like him, why aren't you feeling the same way you felt about Kenya? That's weird. So his mom kind of lets him have it. When I say let him have it, she let him have it. And Bakari agrees with her, and she looks at Bakari and says, if I need you to say something, then I'll let you know. Like in a real nasty way. I didn't like that. So Bakari is like, dang, do your mom want me to leave? So Papa is like, no, she's just grieving. Everybody is grieving. That doesn't mean that you get to talk to people like that. Y'all, this part had me gagging. I was over it. Anyway, they show Shad and Alicia in the bed together. She's like, I like having you here. Shad is like, you make me feel like a new man. Just nonsense. Alicia gets up out the bed and goes to her closet and gets this leather jacket. He comes in behind her. She puts it on him. So he's like, you bought this for me? This must have set you back. So she's like, no, this belonged to somebody that I used to know. So I've seen some people say that it belongs to Rob's dad, but it belonged to Q. You could tell. Y'all know he always used to have them leather jackets on. And the leather hats to go with it. Now, on this part, it tripped me out because she kept saying, yeah, like he was a baby or something. Like, what are you talking about, Alicia? Why do you keep talking about, yeah? That, it was just weird, y'all. Anyway, she does ask him, do he want a real job? So he's like, yeah. So she tells him she will pull some strings so he could become her bodyguard. Gemma, Brittany, Tierra, and Marcus, they're still at dinner. And so Gemma decides that she wants to play Brittany's music for her dad. Marcus actually likes the music. He said it didn't sound like any young person's music that he's heard before. So Marcus asks Brittany, does she think that she had what it takes to make his daughter some money? So she's like, I guess. So Gemma's like, that mean that I don't have to go to college? He's like, look, that's still up for debate. Gemma and Tierra, they start texting. Tierra is like, I see why you like her. I bet you better keep her away from your woman, Gemma. Baby Bop and Big Bop. So then we see Rob and his dad at dinner. So they're talking, and his dad is like, I know you try to K-word Duda because he K-worded your uncle. So he's like, what are you talking about? Who told you that? So his dad just started interrogating him like he was in a courtroom. So Rob is like, look, I'm your son. I'm not in a courtroom with you. So he's basically asking for favors and stuff like that for Victor because he was like, Victor is willing to testify. So basically, you're not here to be my dad and make sure I'm okay. You're here because you need a witness. And so Rob jumps up and says, F you. So Rob was pissed. He walked out. Soon as he walked out, his dad pulled 2 pictures of Rob when he was a little boy out of his briefcase. So I'm guessing he wanted to be there, but work got in the way. So Gemma goes over to Marcus' house. He's like, do you miss living here? She's like, no, I miss you. But he does let Gemma know that he's proud of her. So Marcus asks Gemma, is her and Brittany strictly business? So she's like, what? What are you talking about? He's like, you heard what I said. Are y'all strictly business? Oh, did you talk to Sierra? So, babe, you just told on yourself. So then we see the first lady walking up in Jake's house, talking about his house was cute, but he needs some new furniture. She came straight in there and got straight to business, got on her knees and got to going. She had a Bible study to go to after that because she ain't waste no time. So Emmett and Keisha invite Emmett's parents over for dinner, and they bring Damien with them. Emmett had a whole fit, got an attitude, whatever the case may be, but Jada does put some sense into Emmett's head. She tells him, you know, why you can't accept your brother, but Keisha can accept all your baby mamas. Come on now. Hold up, y'all. I got a prediction. My prediction is that Emmett is going to get close to his brother, and then Duda is going to do something to his brother. So now we see Jake and the First Lady. After they finish doing what they were doing, he's getting dressed. She asks him when can they see each other again. He's basically like, I don't know, pray on it. So then we see Jake and Gemma. Jake is sitting on the couch, Gemma is lying. She wants a massage. His phone goes off. So she's like, who's texting us? So he says nobody and puts his phone face down on the couch. So she's like, if we're going to be together, we got to be honest. So Jake blurts out, oh, the First Lady came over today and she let me F. So Gemma was shocked, but she jumps up and she's like, really? So he's like, so you ain't never thought about effing Brittany before? So she's quiet. So he's like, see, if we're going to be honest, no, he said, if we're going to be together, we got to be honest. So she's like, yeah, we kissed for like 2 seconds. So Jake hits her with, we're only 18. We're not going to be together forever. We might as well keep our relationship open. I know it. Last recap, I said they was going to break up. I could just feel it. So now we see Zay and Kenya sitting in a car. So her dumb tail self decided to go on a date with him. Why? So he's smoking and he passes her the blunt. She's like, no, she doesn't smoke. But then she takes it and then she smokes like a pro. Baby, yes you do. Whatever your outcome is, that's on you. Got a prediction. What if her dad works for Duda and owes Duda some money or something and they're trying to get close to her to take her for some ransom or something? I don't know. I'm thinking too far ahead. So now we see Brittany and Gemma in the studio. Gemma walks into the booth and starts dancing. I didn't understand that because Brittany wasn't doing anything but writing. She was basically trying to throw herself at Brittany based on what Jake had just told her. So she felt like, that would make her pain go away by dealing with Brittany. But Brittany tells her she wants to keep it business, strictly business. Gemma does let Brittany know that she does respect that. And Brittany says, I want it as bad as you do, but if we go there, ain't no going back. So now we see Papa and Pastor Zeke. And he wants for Papa to be his assistant, but he tells Papa if he does take that job, that he has to quit his little job at Smokey's. And Papa agrees. Now we see Bakari. He's sitting at the table. He's writing a book. He has everybody in his book. What do y'all think will happen? Do y'all think that they're trying to take him off of this season? Or do y'all think he'll make it to season 7? We shall see.